Birds are just everywhere, right? In the park, on the street, chirping right outside your window. We see them so often they kind of fade into the background. But what if I told you that these little creatures are hiding some truly extraordinary superpowers right there in plain sight? Seriously, just for a minute, forget everything you think you know. We're going to look at these familiar animals in a whole new light. Not as just birds, but as tiny feathered superheroes with abilities that would be right at home in a comic book. And their first superpower? Well, it's something you've definitely heard, but maybe you've never really listened to it. We're talking about a mastery of secret languages. And trust me, this is way, way more than just simple chirping. That beautiful bird song you hear in the morning? Yeah, that's not just random noise. It is a highly sophisticated language. Every single tweet, every call, it's packed with specific information they use to navigate a really complex social world. And this communication gets incredibly specific. A territorial song, for instance, that's kind of like a bird's public profile. It's them shouting, "Hey, I'm here, I'm strong, and this is my spot." But an alarm call, that's pure tactical information. Some birds even have different calls to specify if the danger is coming from the sky, like a hawk, versus from the ground, like a cat. It's a vocabulary for life and death. And believe it or not, it gets even more complex. Just like humans have different accents and dialects, so do birds. The song of a Japanese bush warbler in one part of Japan can sound subtly different from one in another region. What that suggests is that birds actually learn their songs, passing them down through generations like a form of local culture. How cool is that? Okay, next up is a superpower that seems kind of obvious, but is anything but simple: the ability to fly. The biological engineering that makes flight possible is just absolutely mind-blowing. They really are nature's perfect flying machines. Just let that sink in for a second. An entire skeleton, the very structure holding them together, can weigh less than all the feathers that cover it. This incredible lightness is the absolute foundational secret to their mastery of the air. And this slide right here shows exactly how they pull that off. See, unlike our bones, which are dense and solid, a bird's bones are mostly hollow. But don't think that means they're fragile. No way. They're reinforced with this amazing internal honeycomb-like structure of struts, creating a framework that's both incredibly light and remarkably strong. It's a total engineering marvel. But their engineering genius isn't just anatomical. It actually extends to their behavior. When you see migratory birds flying in that classic V formation, they're not just following a leader. They are being master physicists. Each bird's wingtips create an updraft that the bird behind it can ride, like a wave. This saves a huge amount of energy on journeys that can cover thousands of miles. So they can talk, they can fly, but can they survive? Oh, you bet they can. Now let's look at their third superpower, the ability to thrive in some of the most extreme environments on Earth, from frozen tundras to scorching hot deserts. Their first line of defense is basically a personal, high-tech thermal coat. Tucked under their sleek outer feathers is a layer of soft, fluffy down. These feathers are absolute masters at trapping air, creating an insulating barrier that keeps them warm even when it's freezing. It's the original, all-natural performance gear. But what about rain and snow? Well, birds have that covered too, with a built-in waterproofing system. They have this thing called the uropygial gland, which produces an oil that they meticulously spread all over their feathers. This oil makes their feathers repel water, keeping them dry and light, which is absolutely crucial for both staying warm and being able to fly. Have you ever wondered how a duck can just stand on ice and not get frostbite? The secret is in its plumbing. It's brilliant, actually. In their legs, the arteries carrying warm blood down are wrapped right around the veins carrying cold blood up, so the warm blood heats up the cold blood before it even gets back to the body. This ingenious heat exchange system keeps their core body temperature stable. But their powers aren't just physical. Birds have surprisingly dramatic and complex social lives, filled with romance, family loyalty, and sometimes some pretty shocking deception. When you really look closer, a bird's life is a total masterclass in strategy. It all starts with these elaborate courtships to find the best mate, and then this amazing architectural feat of building the perfect nest. They lay camouflaged eggs for protection and then work tirelessly as parents, even running a little flight school for their kids after they leave the nest. But the bird world definitely has its villains. Meet the brood parasite, like the cuckoo. So while a host bird is pouring all its energy into being a good parent, the cuckoo pulls off this brilliant deception. It drops its egg in the host's nest and just disappears. Then, the cuckoo chick often hatches first and instinctively pushes the host's own eggs right out of the nest, making sure it gets all the food from its unsuspecting foster parents. It's brutal, but hey, it's a pretty effective survival strategy.
Thankfully, it's not all deception. Some species, like certain jays, have these incredibly supportive family structures. They practice something called cooperative breeding, where the older siblings actually stick around to help their parents raise the next batch of chicks. These helpers bring food and defend the nest, which increases the survival rate of their younger siblings. It's a real it takes a village situation.
So after seeing all these incredible superpowers, from complex language to ingenious engineering, the birds outside our window look a little different now, don't they? We're not just living near birds, we are living alongside superheroes.
And, living alongside these superheroes comes with a bit of a responsibility. But being a good neighbor is pretty simple. Making your windows visible with stickers can prevent deadly collisions. Securing our garbage keeps harmful plastics out of their diets. And honestly, one of the biggest things you can do, keep pet cats indoors. It can save countless birds' lives every year.
Ultimately, this is about more than just birds. When we take the time to really understand the hidden world of even the most common creatures, we can't help but gain a deeper respect for nature itself. We're reminded that we're all part of the same incredibly intricate ecosystem.
So, what do you think? Will you just see a bird, or will you see a master linguist, a brilliant aviator, an extreme survivalist, and a member of a complex society? The superheroes have been there all along. The only difference is, now you know how to see them.